Hello and welcome, our dear viewers, to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we'll begin tonight's news with the major and top highlights. Let's follow. The President of the Republic receives the credentials of 4 new ambassadors. School starts in the interior regions, MENFOP. And on the international scene, we got 18 more fires in Amazon in Egypt, Brazil. Those were our major top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, received this morning at the Palace of the Republic the credentials of 4 new ambassadors associated by the respective countries to the Republic of Djibouti. This is the new ambassador of Kenya, resident in Djibouti, Mr. Salim M. Salim. In a brief speech made on the occasion of the handing over of his letters of credence, the new Kenyan ambassador expressed his delight at the friendly ties between the Republic of Djibouti and Kenya. He added that the Republic of Djibouti is a strategic partner for Kenya and share the same ambitions and common interests to achieve sustainable economic development.
It is my great honor and privilege to convey to you personally warm greetings from the President of the Republic of Kenya and the people of Kenya. Your Excellency, Kenya and Djibouti share values and aspirations in various sectors, including political and socio-economic peace and security and diplomatic exchanges. Relations between Kenya and Djibouti are growing stronger in depth and breadth. Djibouti is our dependable partner, not only on bilateral matters, but also at regional, continental, and multilateral level. Our two countries have been cooperating in various areas that include trade and investment, maritime, fight against terrorism, and peace and security. Your Excellency, I promise to work tirelessly in collaboration with your government to enhance the existing cordial relations between our two countries.
Head of State received the new ambassador of the State of Kuwait, who resides in Djibouti, Mr. Suad Haddad, also handed over his letter of credence to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Omar Guelleh. In his statement, the new ambassador also paid a tribute to the franchise policy of stability and development of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. The new ambassador highlighted the excellent relations between the state in various fields. He reiterated his readiness to strengthen the already privileged relations of friendship and cooperation between the two countries and the two people.
سيدي صاحب السمو أمير البلاد المفدى وسيدي وسمو ولي عهده الأمير، فإذا سمحتوا لي تقدم بالأوراق.
He expressed his determination to work further, strengthen the relations of cooperation between the two countries. In his statement, for the Kuwaiti ambassador also paid a tribute to the friendship policy of stability and development of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. Then the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, received the credentials of the new ambassador of Germany resident in Djibouti, Mrs. Helke Fuller. In her speech, the new ambassador expressed her joy to represent her country to the Republic of Djibouti, which share relations. She praised the role of Djibouti for the stability and peace in the region and expressed her willingness to work tirelessly to further consolidate the extraordinary relations between our two countries. And finally, the new ambassador congratulated it.
Merveilleux pour moi de revenir sur le continent africain après avoir...
She praised the role of Djibouti for the stability and peace in the region and expressed her willingness to work tirelessly to further consolidate the exemplary relations between our two countries.
Dans la 45e année de relations d'amitié entre l'Allemagne et Djibouti, soyez assuré, Monsieur le Président, que je m'engagerai d'une manière constructive afin de renforcement de relations d'amitié entre l'Allemagne et Djibouti.
And finally, the new ambassador of Vietnam, Mr. Nguyen Hoi, handed his letter of credence to the President of the Republic, His Excellency, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. The new ambassador expressed in a brief speech his satisfaction and his determination to enhance the relations between Vietnam and the Republic of Djibouti. For his part, the President of the Republic of Excellency, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, welcomed the new ambassadors and assured each of them the availability of the government and people of Djibouti for the accomplishment of their missions.
As non-resident ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam to the Republic of Djibouti, I strongly believe that under your wise guidance and leadership, I will be able to fulfill my commitment to further our friendship and cooperation in all spheres.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, and the diplomatic state advisor to the head of state, Mrs. Fathia Jama' were also present at the hearings. After the school children, it was the turn of the high school students to go back to school today. That is to say, some 198,000 students of general secondary and 80,000 students of technical and vocational secondary school. A resumption under the sign of confidence in the quality of teaching and learning, excellence of the results is recorded by our students at the Baccalaureate 2022. The start of the new school year took place in the best conditions in all the schools of the country, making this year by the opening of bilingual schools in the capital and the regions of the interior of the country, as well as by the creation of preparatory classes with the aim of welcoming our brilliant 37 baccalaureate holders with high intellectual potential. This new school year, which took place this morning with success, augurs a promising school year in several aspects. And as usual, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, made his traditional tour to supervise the start of the school year. At the head of a strong delegation of executives of his department, the minister visited the new schools of the Marjok and the school of Bahur before ending his tour in Barwaqo 2, where he inaugurated the bilingual and technical school of Djibouti. And at each of its stages, the ministerial delegation was welcomed with great pomp by the head of school visited. The minister was able to inquire about the mechanism put in place for a successful start of the school year by visiting the classrooms and having brief exchanges with teachers and students. Following this, the minister and his collaborators had long talks with the administrative and pedagogical managers of these schools. The discussions turned around the framing letters as well as the instructions and the orientations having to do with the new project of transformation of the Djiboutian school. The minister insisted on the responsibility, the conscience, and the professional rigor of the teachers and the staff in charge of the school life. He was satisfied with the commitments and the firm will of his instructors to give the best of themselves to take up this challenge of transformation of the Djiboutian school. As mentioned before, the official tour of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training ended in Barwaqo 2, where he inaugurated the new bilingual school and technology of Djibouti City. Upon his arrival, the minister was welcomed by the senior staff of MENFOB and parents of the students. Then he proceeded to the traditional ribbon cutting. The officials toured the classrooms and the delegation was able to see firsthand the conditions of the students. This was followed by practical demonstrations of the game provided by children with special needs. Note that bilingual and technological schools are an environment conducive to learning that meets quality standards, modern laboratories that facilitate learning and good diction of languages, libraries rich in academic and books. Bilingual and technological schools is also to train in an early way from the age of 6 young Djiboutians educated, multilingual, productive, mastering the scientific and technological foundations to become later on competitive on the labor market. Let us recall that each region of the country has its own bilingual school and technology. Like all the basic education establishments in the country, the basic and middle schools in the Arta region opened their doors on yesterday, a total of 36,000 students of basic and middle education returned to their classes in an atmosphere marked by joy and serenity. A delegation led by the prefect of the Arta region, Mr. Mohammed Sheikho, and composed of the vice president of the regional council, the regional inspector, the police, and gendarmerie officers, the pedagogical supervision team carried out a supervisory tour in the different establishments of the city of Arta. At the end of this tour, the heads of the school explained to the delegation the state of the new school year. The prefect of the region and the members of the delegation wished the pedagogical teams of each establishment an excellent start to the new school year, a year of success and better results. Like the whole country, the start of the school year 2022-2023 took place on Sunday, September 4th for students of basic and intermediate education in the region of Obokh. All schools in the region of Obokh opened their doors and welcomed students in very good conditions. In total, about 2,000 primary school students and 652 middle school students in Obokh have returned to school in public schools. In addition, there are private schools such as Al-Rahma School, which has 280 students, and Markazi for refugees, which has 87 students in primary school and 29 in secondary school. As usual, local authorities, including the Deputy Prefect of Obokh, Mr. Ali Mohammed Maki, the President of the local government, and the President of the local council, which represent Ali Mohammed Maki, the President of the Regional Council of Obokh, Mr. Mohammed Hamad Ismail, as well as the Head of the Regional Service of Education, Mr. Hamad Ali Mohammed, visited the different basic and middle schools of the capital. In his speech held on the occasion, the Deputy Prefect of Obokh, Mr. Ali Mohammed Maki, welcomed the good progress of this new school year 2022-2023, which he stressed took place in a good conditions, with an attendance rate of over 80% of students. Like all basic education institutions in the country, basic schools and colleges in the region of Tajara opened their doors on Sunday, September 4th. A total of 6,722 students, including 4,501 students in basic education and 2,221 students in middle education, returned to their classes in an atmosphere marked by joy and sincerity. A delegation led by the prefect of the region of Tajura, Mr. Hassan Dabale, and composed of the vice president of the regional council, the regional inspector, officers of the police and gendarmerie, the team of pedagogical supervision, have conducted a tour of supervision in the various institutions of the city of Tajura. At the end of this tour, the heads of the schools gave the delegation an update on the start of the school year. The prefect of the region and the members of the delegation wished the pedagogical teams of each school an excellent start to the school year, a year of success and better results. Let's follow the footages. Following the example of the schools of the Republic, the establishments of the region of Dakhil also opened their doors to welcome the pupils of the fundamental cycle. Some 10,000 students from basic and middle schools returned to school in an artistic and vibrant atmosphere, accompanied by their parents. As in customary, the prefect Adan Adrar Musa, the president of the regional council Ibrahim, and the educational authorities, namely the regional inspector, supervised the smooth running of this 2022 school year. Let us note that the start of the school year was very successful and the teachers were present at their posts to start a very good school year. As in the rest of the country, the start of the school year 2022-2023 took place normally and in good conditions throughout the region of Ali Sabih. Yesterday, Sunday, very early in the morning, from preschool class, basic school to middle school, in total more than 9,000 students took the road to school benches. In the capital of the region, the city of Aska, and the rural areas, the opening of public schools after 3 long months of school vacations have been carefully prepared with the cleaning of classrooms and the sitting in good conditions of tables, benches. It is in this context of national importance that a delegation led by the prefect of the region and composed of the president of the regional council, deputy of the region, the regional inspector of education, the regional education supervision team, the police commander detachment of the region of Ali Sabih, the lieutenant of the gendarmerie of Ali Sabih undertook supervision visits in schools and institutions in the city of Ali Sabih. According to the military and provincial authorities, following the torrential rains that took place last week in the region of Arta, the Wadi of Wea has swept away a young boy named Hassan Yassin Miguel from the village of Wea in the afternoon of Saturday, September 3rd at 2:30. As a result, the local population and the defense and security forces, notably the Camp Sheikh Osman units, the 1st Rapid Action Regiment, the National Gendarmerie, the Coast Guard, and the Civil Protection, jointly and immediately began searches along the Wea Wadi Dam. Within the framework of these searches, the defense and security forces were supported by the French and the American forces stationed in Djibouti, who deployed resources to communicate with the needs. In order to inquire about the situation, the chief of the general staff of the armed forces, accompanied by the prefect of the region, went to the scene to supervise the search. These joint efforts led to the recovery of a lifeless body of the deceased Hassan Yassin Miguel today, Monday. The Djibouti Radio and Television in mourning with the death this morning of the late Abdullah Umar Saleh, better known under his nickname Abdullah Salal, a leading figure of the Djibouti radio and television, talented footballer in his youth. The late Abdullah Salal joined his last heavenly home. Very touched by the death of the late Abdullah Salal, who was a co-partner and a long-time friend of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, addresses his condolence most saddened to the family of the deceased. Born in 1950, the late Abdullah Salal began his career at the radio and television in 1967 as a journalist and host. He was kind, personally known to all Djiboutians for his bravery and courage. He was known for his integrity, loyalty. He forced team through the welcome, trust and respect he found with all. He always sent an image of honest men who knew success and social excitation to the extension of his merit. Today he leaves an indelible mark with the national public and his colleagues of the RTD for his cultural journalistic qualities, his frankness, and the late Abdullah Saleh was the training of journalists since 1980s, especially journalists of the Afar section, of which he was the leader, mentor, but also a friend. He leaves a large family, including a widow, several children, and grandchildren. The management and all staff of RTD extend their deepest condolence to the family of the deceased Abdullah Salal. May the Almighty grant his family and loved ones patience and comfort, but also apply the word. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, environmental associations are once again sounding the alarm in the Amazon. More details, let's follow.
This has been Brazil's worst amount for fire in more than a decade. That's according to the Brazilian Space Agency, which says its satellite recorded more than 33,000 blazes in August this year, compared to 28,000 in the same month of 2021. The South American rainforest is considered a key buffer against global warming, as well as the destruction from flames. Romulo Batista from Greenpeace Brazil said they have also detected a record amount of deforestation in the first half of this year. It was the highest in number of deforestation alerts in the last 15 years. From January to August, fires increased 18% compared to last year.
Well, by this, our beloved viewers, we conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Thank you once again.